Okay, we got the fender on. It's all lined up on top. The bumpers and the line here, you can see it's lined up good. Got the emblems all back on and stuff. Now that we have this on, it's nice and shiny, fresh paint. The doors on the car, they're still a bit shiny here, but they're a bit oxidized. The back is worse because the front was painted before. So what I'm going to do is going to mask up the fender because I don't want any fresh compound on it. And I'm going to compound the door to bring it up a bit, and it'll match the paint a bit better. Then I'll show you on the back door because it's really chalky back here. It's all faded, and I'll show you what with some compound, it can bring that up to look just like the front fender. I'll show you that right now. But first I'll mask up the fender. There's the fresh compound on it. Sometimes it'll leave marks on it. So I'll just mask it off roughly here, just quickly for you. Just to show you how it's done. Okay. There's different types there. You can get foam. I use the wool pads. I like them better. I find the the foam pads get a panel hot fast. It's all right if you're just doing something like this, but if you're buffing like a whole car and it's like a show car and you wet sand and do all the buffing and stuff, sometimes the heat could warp a panel. So if you don't watch it. So what I use the wool ones. I find the wool ones get the paint a bit flatter too. They seem to flatten out the paint. So I'll just put the pad on here. They clip on and clip off fast. When you get them lined up, push the button in. Okay, I use it's Ultra Cutting Cream. This is the Presta. There's all kinds of different brands. They're all pretty well the same. They all do the same thing. I'll put a bit on the panel. And I'll just rub it around a bit with the buffer. There's different settings on this buffer, and it's set up for buffing cars. So when you get the system, like say you get a kit, it'll tell you what speed to put it on for what pad you're using. So I use this one on, it'll be on 3. See it shine up right now. You just with the wool pad, you gotta watch. Sometimes they'll catch, like you have to watch where you're going here. If it catches on the mirror, it'll pull into it and you could take the paint off the mirror. Even on plastic, like these moldings, if you're going on them too much, the paint will heat up really quick on plastic and it'll peel the paint right off it. So. Then you can wash that off and then you'll wax it. Now this back door is really bad, so I'll show you how I can bring that up to match the front one. I don't know if you can tell on the camera or not how oxidized it is, but one other thing, I get a screwdriver for now. Sometimes the compound dries up on the pad, and they sell a thing that goes on it there and it takes the compound off. I use a screwdriver, I like it better. Just put it on and. 'Cause, 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 It takes off the dry compound. You have to do that every once in a while and then start again. Usually when the car's oxidized this bad, you can buff them up, but they don't last that long. And you got to keep them waxed. I'll wash this off and then we'll wax it, and I'll show you what it looks like, and I'll take off the paper off here. And if the paint's too fresh, you don't want to put tape on it. Leave it sit a couple of days before you do it, because sometimes the glue from the tape will soften the paint and it'll leave marks in the paint. See, that door matches the fender pretty good now. Once I wash it off and wax it a bit, it'll look a lot better. Let's get a couple of rags. Okay, I cleaned all the compound off just with a wet rag. And I'm going to spray some wax on it. This is just spray and shine wax. I call it lazy man's wax, but it works really good. Give a spray on like that, and you just wipe it right off. That's all there is to it. There. And that shines it up and matches the paint where you painted the front fender. And see if you, I don't know if you can tell from back here how chalky this is. That's what the door was like before. I don't know if you can notice the difference in the camera or not, but there's a lot of difference. This looks like almost like fresh paint compared to this back here. So that's just how you can bring up the paint to make it look like new, basically. But like I say, when you're doing that, if it's been oxidized for quite a bit, it takes a lot to buff up, and then it won't last that long, depending on how bad it was. But if you keep it waxed, it should stay pretty shiny for quite a while. But basically, you're almost time for a paint job. This one does need a paint job. There's some rust here and that, but eventually we will do the body on this as soon as Sean comes up with some money. Okay? And we'll see you next time on Skills for Life Auto Body and Restoration School. Thank you.